today I feel a little sick and I haven't been 100%. However, I'm gonna make a soup. This is a protein-packed egg drop soup. It's a chicken egg drop soup. This is gonna be very easy to make because again, I am sick, but it's gonna be packed with a lot of flavors. Let's get started. So first you wanna grab about 4 chicken thighs. I'm using a big Le Creuset Dutch oven, so I can actually fit all these chicken thighs in there. If you have something smaller, you might need to use less of the chicken thighs. Now you wanna take these chicken thighs and you wanna pat the skin completely dry. It has to be very much dry, it can't be any moisture on that skin. Then you just wanna take some salt. You wanna salt that skin. Next, you wanna grab your Le Creuset Dutch oven. Now here's the thing, don't put it on the stove and turn on the heat just yet. You want that Dutch oven to be regular room temperature or cold. That's because we're gonna take our chicken and we're gonna put it skin side down. Now you noticed I didn't put any oil into the pan. And the reason we're gonna put it skin side down is because we're gonna put it into the stove once the chicken is in there, and we're gonna put the heat to medium high heat, and we're gonna let that chicken naturally render its fat, and now that chicken is gonna cook in its own fat. And you wanna cook it until that chicken skin gets nice, golden, dark brown. Then you wanna flip it. Then you wanna put in some minced ginger. Here, we're putting in about a tablespoon of minced ginger. This is the time where we're gonna start adding to toast up. Once that ginger just gets a little toasted, now we're gonna add in minced garlic. We have about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. You could use less, you could even use more. I'm using just a little bit more than 2 tablespoons because I love garlic. And it's also good for, the cold. So we're gonna let that toast up. So we're also gonna add in the bottom half of the green onion. We're gonna take the green onion and we just cut it up to where it starts getting dark green. Then we're gonna take that bottom part, we're also gonna add that in with the garlic. We're gonna let that all cook up in that chicken fat as well. Now once the garlic gets nice and toasty, as you see right over here, then we're gonna add in our broth. Now I'm using about 64 ounces of chicken broth. This is a low sodium chicken broth. Depending on your salt tolerance, you can use the regular chicken broth, but I'm just using a low sodium chicken broth. This is from Fire and Kettle. Now, of course, if you're using less of the chicken thighs, you can cut this down to 32 ounces, but I like a nice hearty amount. Now you wanna let this come to boil and let it boil for about a minute. And then you wanna reduce the heat to about medium low and then throw the cover on and just let it cook for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now once it's done simmering, we're gonna take out the chicken thighs. We're gonna put it to the side. That's because we're gonna shred it. When you shred these chicken thighs, just take out the skin. You won't need the skin. If you like the skin, you can include the skin into the shredded pieces. Now with this soup you have 2 choices. You can take out the aromatics, the peppercorns that you see, and the cinnamon stick, but I just leave it in because it just adds more flavor and more depth to it that I like. So next we're gonna get our cornstarch slurry. This is very, very easy to make. Here we have about 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of cold water. We're just gonna mix that up and we're gonna put that right into the soup mix. We're gonna let that cook for about 2 minutes while we constantly stir. Then we wanna get 6 beaten eggs. Now again, this recipe is 6 beaten eggs because it's 64 ounces of that chicken broth. And we're gonna pour that right in there slowly. And before you start mixing, just let it be still in there for about 2 to 3 minutes. Let it get a little solidified, and then you wanna mix it in and break it up just a little. Now you wanna add that shredded chicken right back in there. Now we're gonna take our top part of the green onions that we didn't use. We're gonna chop it up and put that in there. Now this is the time to taste it and adjust for salt. You might need a little bit more salt, you might not, but this is the time to adjust for salt. Now when I serve this, I like to put in a little sesame oil in there. That sesame oil is just gonna give it that additional flavor. Next, you don't have to do this, but we're gonna spice it up with some Thai chili pepper. Now the reason why I like putting this in there, especially while I have the cold, is because it opens up my sinus. When you have some spicy food, it will actually open up your sinus. So I love this. All right, now let's have a taste test. We're gonna mix it around a little. Gonna grab some chicken and some egg right over here. Here we go. Wow, that tastes light and intense at the same time. And I think the reason is because that broth, with all the stuff that we added in there, and the way that we cooked the chicken with the fat side down first, it brought in so much additional flavor to the broth that you can't even imagine. And of course, the garnishing that we did with the sesame oil, everything just goes together. I mean, this is light, but at the same time, it's protein packed. This is exactly what you need for those sick days in the winter. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.